In science today, we're going to continue learning about what plants need to live and grow. So let's go over our DLO, and then I'm going to show you some pictures, and we'll talk about some questions that I have for you about what plants need. Okay, I'll go first. Today I will observe what plants need to live and grow. Now it's your turn. Today I will observe what plants need to live and grow. All right, so let's review what plants need to survive. A need is something you have to have in order to live. Plants need food, water, air, and space to live. They need all four of those things or they can't survive. So they need those things: food, water, air, and space to live. So I'm going to show you a picture here of some flowers in this flower bed. Plants need air. They use air to make food and grow. So here are these plants. Looks like they're outside of somebody's house. And plants need air to make food and to grow. Where can you find air? Where can we find air? Because we also need air in order to live. We need that. Air is all around us. So these plants are getting plenty of air outside. We are inside right now, getting plenty of air. So we can get air because it's all around us. So I'll put this little picture here. Plants need to make food over and over, so they have to continue to get air and over so that they can make food. Plants use air to make their own food, so without air, plants wouldn't be able to live or grow. They have to have air to live and grow. So that is something that a plant needs to live and grow, is air, over and over. So why is it important for plants to get air over and over? Because plants need air to make their own food. So they need to get air over and over, just like us. We don't make our own food, but we need air over and over so that we can breathe. Now, in the video yesterday you watched, it mentioned the importance of roots and leaves for plants. The roots are the part of the plant that's underground that helps absorb the water, and there's nutrients in the ground that they absorb through that water that they need to grow. So plants need space so that their roots have room to grow. Their roots need space under the ground so that their stems and their leaves have space above ground. I have another picture I want to show you. So look at this picture of this lettuce farm. We know that plants need air, space to live, water, and food to grow. Well, they need sunlight too. They need the sun too. So look at this lettuce. They have the roots underground. See how they're spaced about a foot apart? These are young lettuce plants. The farmers planted them in rows to help with the space and to help with watering. They put them far apart from each other to help the leaves and the roots have plenty of space to grow. Now down here at the bottom of the picture I see a hose, so I know that these lettuce plants have everything they need. They've got a hose here to probably water. There might be underground water irrigation. Maybe they flood it, maybe they sprinkle it, but I know that that hose tells me they get plenty of water, which they need. I see the spaced out plants, so I know they have plenty of room. I see they're in a field on a farm, so they get plenty of air. And the food that they're getting is from their leaves and the water and the sun. So without seeing the sun in the picture, I know that they're getting plenty of sunshine because they're growing. So tell me why you think plants need space to grow. Why do plants need space to grow? Plants need space to grow so that they have room for their roots underground and their leaves above ground. then they also have plenty of air to absorb what they need to make their own food. Plants need air and space over and over and over to live and grow. So now I want to show you what happens if they don't have enough space. So here's some little seedlings. So when you start some plants at home or for your garden, you usually put in a bunch of seeds in here because you hope at least one grows, but you put in more so that there's a higher probability that something's going to grow in there. The importance of this picture is to show you and to think about what could happen if there's too many plants in one space. Up here we see these flowers have plenty of space to grow for their roots and their leaves. We see the lettuce have plenty of space for their roots and their leaves. Now look at these little babies. Right now they might have enough space, but what happens to baby plants? They get bigger. What do you think would happen if a plant does not have enough space to grow? What do you think could happen if we left all these little seedlings in here? What could happen if they stayed in there forever to live and grow? Well, if a plant doesn't have enough space to room to grow, it might not grow as tall or as full as it can be. So if they start growing and growing, and then the roots take up all the space there is there and there's no more space, then those plants are going to stay small. And if you want, and it kind of looks like basil seeds to me, but if you want a big healthy plant, what I do with my garden is I sprinkle a bunch of seeds in, and as they start to grow, you have to thin them out. Thin means you pick them out. So even though you have all these happy little healthy plants right now, they won't be happy and healthy because they won't get what they need to live and grow if there are too many right there. They won't have enough space. So you have to pull them out so that you just have maybe a couple in there. And then as they get bigger, then you thin it out to like one. Depends on the plant. Some of them like to be close together. So this is what you should do when you have, these are little tomato plants. Excuse me. As they get bigger, do you think all those big tall plants would fit in that little tiny square? No, they wouldn't fit. So these plants, if you don't thin them out and put them in their own pots, then they'll stay small forever, and then you never really get the good fruits and vegetables out of those plants. So these tomato plants, now they have plenty of room to grow. And as they get bigger, because I have tomato plants in the spring and summertime, I know how big a tomato plant can get. They can get as big as you guys. They're going to be needing more space and air outside. So I like to start them inside when they're little tiny babies, but then they have to go outside because they're going to keep growing and they need more space to live and grow. So now it's your turn. I want you to draw a picture of some flowers or plants and in the picture, make sure that you show that your flowers or plants have plenty of space to grow. So whether you draw a flower bed with flowers, I can see the dirt, the soil underneath there, and these big plants are behind. They're behind there so that you have the little flowers in front so they can get plenty of air and sunlight. Maybe you want to draw a field of some plants, lettuce or tomatoes or pumpkins, whatever you want. But draw me a picture of plants that are getting plenty of air and space to grow. So that's what you will do to make sure that they have plenty of room for their roots underground and their leaves above ground so that they can live and grow. Now it's your turn.